few weeks back, I get a phone call. It's a guy, he's like, hey, do you work on pinball machines? I said, no, not really. I mean, I work on my own, but I don't work on other people's. I don't have the space or the time for it. Oh, well, I just bought a pinball machine. Doesn't seem to be working. I was just wondering if maybe it's something you could take a look at and, get the thing going. I'm like, no, I just don't really have the space for it or something. And I said, well, what is it doing or not doing? He goes, I don't know. You plug it in, it lights up, but it doesn't do anything outside of that. And a little bit of conversation, I realized it's an electromechanical machine. It's not a solid state. And he says, well, I've got it on the trailer right now. I could just bring it by if you want. All right, if it's on the trailer, go ahead and bring it by, I guess. We'll pop it open. We'll have a look. We'll see what I think. And so a couple hours later, I have a couple had come in, and they said that we're heading to your pinball place, and driving down the street, we see a pinball machine on a flatbed trailer heading in your direction. And I said, oh God, I wonder if that's what's coming here. So sure enough, this guy pulls up not a few minutes after the couple, and flatbed trailer, the thing's on the legs, back up, back boxes up and everything. And talking to him, he's like, oh yeah, the back's gone. I was driving down the street and I saw it fly off, and I turned back around, I couldn't find it. But so long story short, he bought a machine for a few $100. He apparently took it home and plugged it in. Lights came on, couldn't start a game. And so that's when he's like, what? And I don't know if he called the guy back. I don't know where he got it from or anything like that. So he wanted to know if I would buy it, and I basically just paid what he paid for it, a couple $100 plus a few bucks for gas. So now I have this Stern Stampede right here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I haven't even really looked at it. It's a bit of a mess, kind of here and there. I did when it was on outside. No, outside it was like -7 that day. I don't know how long he had been driving the thing around. It didn't even occur to me when I talked to him, but I looked, score reels were all kind of seized up, and then it occurred to me later, I bet they were oiled, and they were just like, the oil had the viscosity just turned into clay because of the cold. So they might be fine. I don't know. I haven't plugged it in. I haven't even really opened it up. It's a bit of a mess. I thought, kind of a fun video. Let's have a look at it. Let's dig in here. Let's see what's actually here. Let's turn it on, maybe. Catching fire is good TV, right? Okay, let's do a quick walk around and then we'll crack it open. The cabinet isn't too terribly bad, actually. I don't know if this is factory overspray or if this is I think this is someone else's overspray from something. But overall, cabinet's pretty good. I mean, given the age. Now this is a Stern. This is the first Stern pinball machine. If I recall, and I don't quote me, I think it was Stampede originally came out by Chicago Coin, and then Stern bought Chicago Coin, if I'm remembering right. So there are Stampedes that are labeled Stern and some that are labeled Chicago Coin, if I recall. The Chicago Coin ones are worth quite a bit more. I did open it up enough to throw one of these things in. So he said that the back had fallen off as he was driving. Let's get a light on here. Also, there was some sort of a critter nest in here. We took out some of it outside, so there's some all down in here. So that's a problem. But I looked and it didn't look like any of the wires were really chewed up. It was just sort of nest debris kind of in there. Overall, I'm looking at it, I don't see, like, there's not a lot of corrosion on it. That's positive. So this is kind of bad. We could have some score reels that have lost their numbers if they, because the problem with rodent nests is that they usually pee all around in there. I don't know how they were getting in. I don't know if they were coming in through here, so we'll look at that. Let's crack it open and look on the inside. So is this big lock is probably somewhere commercial at some point inside. First thing we notice, this is, yeah, it looks like it's actually broken. They've glued it and then they've taped it. Awesome. Little missing little chip here, little paint missing here. It looks, I don't know, it's finishes. Oh, it's got, okay, so it's got Mylar on it. All of this is Mylar. You can see the edges right here, up here. All right, so that's a thing. Plastics are they're pretty yellowed. So that's a thing. It's complete, except for this broken plastic and this broken plastic. I mean, there's a few chips here and there. I don't know what's going on there. They move it? I think this has been moved over. One of these has been moved. This one's been moved over. The plastic doesn't fit anymore. It probably got stripped out. Other than that, a little rust, not too terrible. A little rust up here, that'll clean up. This is back glass. Unfortunately, she's a flaky thing. Missing stuff there, a little bit there, a little bit of a crackle. So there was a Stern Stampede that I really wanted. It had showed up on this auction. It came out of a church. At some point, someone in the church decided this was a little maybe too risky for, or risque, as they say. So they cut here, removed her chest plate, and behind it, they'd scraped all the paint off, and behind it they had put the 10 Commandments, because, you know, that will help? I don't know. Yeah. Boobs are bad, 10 Commandments are good. I really wanted that. There's just something pathetically funny about that I really liked. But, yeah. I mean, I suppose I could make my own. This glass isn't really ideal. Let's open it up. Let's see what's on the inside. It's a little dirty. So this flipper is going to have a bit of a problem. It's been dissected. That's still there. So this needs a switch. That's it. The ball's still in there. This is kind of cool. It's actually, you don't see these very often. There's a ball in here, and if you lift the thing up, it rolls along the little track, and it touches this switch, and that's how it tilts it. And you don't see a lot of these where they're a little contained ball in there. Usually it's just a rail and you can see the ball on it itself. Kind of cool. Here's your tilt bob. It's starting to shed, as those do. What do we have over here? We have our chime. So this is turning. That's positive. So we know it isn't seized. Now, I think what I'm going to do, let's go through and look for anything that looks like it may have caught on fire. So let's start in the back. I don't see anything singed. If you see something singed, just shout it right on out. Okay, all of this looks okay. These coils do not look like they have been easy baked oven. Fuses look good. Okay, those coils look fine. Those coils look fine. That's a bit of a mess, but those coils look fine. Okay, everything back here looks okay. Let's go under here. So first thing, my fuses look okay. They don't look, nothing looks shorted, because he did turn this on before he brought it here. He said the lights came on it, but it wouldn't start a game. So I would think if it was going to catch fire, it would have caught. Oh, look, there's some Nicoderm back there. Fantastic. I've been wanting to start and then stop smoking. All of these look okay. It's all, the capacitors don't look like they've blown it. All of this looks pretty clean. Really, at the end of the day, this looks not bad. I've seen far worse. But this doesn't look too terribly bad. Oh, cool. Look. This is awesome. So this gives me all of my my switch locations for the score motor. That's fantastic. Sometimes you don't have that. It's a little bit of a, sometimes you can't find it, especially if it's a Gottlieb or something. So transformer, schematic, or pinout, I guess is what it is. Let's start it. Man, it's empty. Someone used it. Expires 2005. Okay, the power strip back there is turned off, just in case something has a problem. So we'll turn the power strip on. Yeah. Okay, that's a thing. Okay, it's booted to game over. It does, all the lights are on. We've got credits. Score reels are not moving at all. So let's manually reset all of our score reels. I'm going to get some of that gunk out of there first. Let's do that first. All right, these are going to have to be all cleaned out there. No big deal. Let's put this one back to 0. We do have some revealed wires here, right in here. So let's, at least for now, let's spread those out so they don't short on each other. Oh, I'm going to get the hantavirus. I know it. Yeah, again, a bunch of exposed wires up here where insulation has come off of them. Not too bad of a fix, I suppose. Oh yeah. The mouse is probably still in here. Looks like a bunch of, this must have been in a shed or something, because there's a bunch of like vegetation as bedding Whereas if it were in a basement or something, or a garage that was more or less sealed, then you're going to see more like insulation and paper products and stuff. But there's a lot of plant matter in here, leaves and stuff. These are all stripped out too. One more. Okay. It should all be. Now, this is going to assume that our switches are making contact like they should. Yummy. Let's turn it on again. Game over. Hit start. All right, let's try it. I'm going to back off all the credits on this. Just give it one. So let's see if when I start a game, if this at least cycles down. Oh, this one's out of place. Hey, that works. All right, start a game. We took the credit off. Saw that. Oh, this is going to need a lot more attention. Kind of hoping that we just maybe almost be able to turn it on. This is a little clippy guy. Where does the clippy guy go to? Okay, what you guys remember what the old rule is for electromechanical machines? They continue to cycle. Why? Everything has to be reset. So, while our score reels might be reset, there's some of the wires are missing their insulation. Some of them could be touching. The switches may not actually be making contact. So, the first thing that I'm going to do with this machine, let me rephrase that. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this machine, but if I were to work on this machine and try to get it up and going again, the first thing I would probably do is I would go through all the score reel stuff and just start there. Clean that all up, make sure that they're cycling and moving as they should. Probably even before that, because I don't know what else is going on here. Even before that, probably what I would do is I would just make sure that the switches, when they're in the zero position, the switches are making contact, because who knows, there could be a bunch of mouse urine on it or something and it's corroded it and you're not getting a current through the switch points. So I'd probably clean all that up first just to see if I can get it to actually start a game. Then I would clean up all the score reels. Then I would just start going through the rest of the things that need attention. There's some stuff in the back. All of those switches are kind of meh. There's a few of them that could probably need some adjusting. I don't know what to do with this machine though, because I didn't pay very much for it. The Playfield's not in a great shape. The plastics are pretty trashed. I don't know if you could bring them back. Backglass is a little I've been wanting a project machine like this that I wouldn't feel bad gutting and putting a virtual cabinet in it, because I would like to have a virtual machine in here because I want to run Space Cadet. Remember the old pinball game from Windows 95? That's been ported over to a virtual framework, and I played it on a virtual machine. It's awesome. I would love to have one of those in here. My problem is this is a complete machine. So I feel bad gutting it and tearing it all out. Not a great game, really, at the end of the day. I mean, there's not a lot going on with this thing. A couple of targets, a couple of pop bumpers, slingshots, a few switches, a spinner guy. I think this is supposed to have a captive ball, but I'm not sure about that little upper lane in the top left. I think that's supposed to be a captive ball, but I'm not sure. It wouldn't captive a ball here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I do have a class coming in tomorrow, so I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to leave it open. The class can kind of look at it. We can talk about like why it's not starting. It's basically what this video is, right? Explain to them a bit more about the machine. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to fold this thing up and throw it into storage and just kind of think about it, or if I'm going to try to get it going. I don't know. It's not interesting enough to want to have it in here. I have other interesting machines in storage I would rather bring in. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll just fix it up and sell it. I'll get it running and sell it. I don't know. So that's kind of what I do when I get a machine like this in and it's not really doing what it's supposed to be doing. I kind of start, give it a look over, make sure that nothing looks like it's caught on fire. Carefully turn it on, see what's going on, and just sort of step through the motions of a little bit of like start at the score reels. It's nice that the score motor worked. That's a positive thing. If the score motor doesn't spin or you hit that button and it doesn't seem to do anything at all, that's a little bit more of a difficult proposition because you got to figure out where the heck the problem is, and it could be all kinds of different things. Yeah, so I think I'm going to end the video there. Not a lot of resolution, but it's kind of fun to look at, huh? It's a fun story. I did want that one. I wanted the 10 Commandments Stampede so bad, but it just didn't pan out. Now I have a Stampede, but I don't really care about it. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching.